nice little review, ad-libbed, on the nice Russian model SKS. This one's actually the Chinese Norinco. I'm sure you've already noticed it does have the TAPCO Interfuse Compliance Kit on it. I will address that in review as compared with the wood stock that comes from Russia. I am wearing my NRA hat today. I thought I should pass it along, support for that. So you're going to have to look at it the whole time if you want to listen to this review. And if not, you know, that sucks, but whatever. So we'll try to get right to it. First thing I got on the list is price. And this guy comes at an awesome price. I traded for this one at a gun show, but for the most part you can normally get these for $200 to $300. I'm sure you could find them for less, but I'd say you could find one for $250 easy. I forgot to go ahead and do the safety check. It is empty. Empty mag. On that bolt. Nothing in there. Alright, anyways. So yeah, real cheap gun, but it's low price, high value. What I mean is you get a lot of bang for your buck. The SKS, historically speaking, is the granddad to the AK-47. A lot of the action and the inner workings are very much the same. You can see the gas tube assembly works almost the exact same way. Does have a bayonet lug up front here. I took the bayonet off because I'll get to it later. This is a very heavy gun. Can't remember if I said it already or not. I'm just kind of screwing around with this one-point sling thing. I don't really think I'm tactical or like I'm not going to try and like run it and compete with it or anything. Anyways, after price, we got aesthetics, and aesthetics for this gun are 0. I think this is an ugly gun, to be honest. I just do. You know, just for my opinion, I don't think the AK is a good-looking gun either. Some of the AKs have some really beautiful wood stocks and whatnot. Doesn't matter if it's Russian, Chinese, whatever. I've just never found an SKS that I really thought was just beautiful. But that's fine, because for the price, it's just a practical gun. It's what you want. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Firepower. This, like the AK, is chambered in 7.62 by 39 millimeter. These big bad boys. Ballistically speaking, I don't know where I want to go with this. Just to compare it to everybody's favorite, the 5.56 or the 223 round, this is a much bigger bullet. A lot of 5.56 and 223 rounds are 55 to 65 grains. These are generally, I don't know, 122 to 125 grains. So nearly double the weight. Less powder. It's 39 millimeter length shell as opposed to a 45. It's got lower velocity and wouldn't be as accurate at really far ranges. Reaching out there, I'm talking 300 plus yards. But in an accurate and capable weapon, the 7.62 is just as accurate around as the 5.56. Only thing is, this retains its energy. This will punch through much bigger, harder things at closer ranges, and it will retain its velocity and energy better at longer ranges. Kind of the whole object in motion tends to stay in motion thing. It's a lot easier to stay in motion when you weigh twice as much as the competition. Enough of that. Capacity. On the original SKS, the non-compliant kit, it comes with a box magazine, which is not detachable. This hinge at the bottom here is actually just for emptying the magazine when need be. That's also why when you have the magazine, it's got this duckbill on the front right there that you have to slide in and rock in, actually much like an AK mag. That being said, I'm trying to remember because I haven't used the box magazine in forever. I'm pretty sure the standard box magazine will hold 10 rounds. These TAPCO will hold 20. And you can buy other ones that are 30, and I've seen some ridiculous ones that are up to 50, and like still in a banana clip, not even a drum. But I've heard those are actually pretty unreliable. See if I can do this without looking too goofy. The SKS, in its original configuration, and also in this one, has this notch right here so that it can be fed from a stripper clip. which of course when you have a box magazine is your only option. So I think I've shown this before, but if you haven't seen it, the rounds fit like that into the teeth, and then you just push them on down in. I don't really want to load this right now though, so I'm not going to. Of course, if you do have Tapco kit, or even with your other SKS, if you take the box magazine out, you can just switch magazines like you normally would. But if you're somebody who wants to compete or run a system, quote quote, I think these duck bills are going to make it very hard to store magazines like in pouches or whatever. And also, it's not, unlike the AK, where you bring the lever forward towards the magazine to remove it. This actually, the lever has to come back for you to remove the magazine. So it's not easy to take the mag out, but it is relatively easy to put it back in. Definitely not on par though with most other modern platforms that are magazine fed. Anyways, I know that looks goofy. Like I said, I'm not tactical. Maybe I'm not tactical. Maybe that's why I look goofy. Anyways, I can say that 300,000 times. After chambering and capacity, we got accuracy. This gun I found to be moderately accurate. I wouldn't say it's great, but I'm using cheap stuff. This is just a throw-around gun for me. I'm not spending a lot. I've got this red dot on here. It was Walmart bought. I'm saying somewhere from 30 to 50 bucks. Out of this red dot, from a cheap, goofy little bipod on the bench rest. I mean, this thing shakes all over the place. I was hitting, we'll say 3 MOA at 50 yards, or 3-inch groups at 50 yards, which I guess is, what, 6 MOA at 100? I found out at 100 yards, yeah, it's probably closer to 5 MOA, but this is a dinky red dot. I'm no pro shooter, that's a bad bipod. I'm sure you could get better accuracy out of it. And frankly, if you're wanting to use this as some kind of a defensive weapon, you're going to put shots on a human torso. Like, that's not an issue. It's just whether or not you want to shoot a quarter at 100 yards or not. Probably not going to happen with this rifle. I'm sure someone else could do it, just not for me. It's not going to happen. Practical frame fit, floated barrel. Well, obviously, this Tapco frame was a little difficult to put on. It fits very tight, which is nice because I don't plan on changing stocks a lot. So now that this is fit in, it's snug. I didn't have to sand anything off. It fits great. I love it. The old SKS original stock was nice as well, but the barrel's not floated in those. So if you are trying to shoot at range, you do have to take into account that since it is a wood stock, it will swell and, losing the word for it, unswell, shrink, maybe, swell and shrink, as moisture and temperature conditions change, which is going to change your barrel harmonics, which is going to throw your accuracy off a little bit. Not a lot, whatever. Ergonomics, I already touched on this a little bit earlier. Kind of crappy, to be honest. You're either going to have to run stripper clips or deal with these difficult, what are essentially two-handed mag changes. Safety is real simple. It's a switch that you push forward, and it actually literally externally just blocks you from being able to pull the trigger. Sweep it down and you can then engage the trigger. Trying to think, there's really not much else on the bolt and carrier. I can't remember. I think the original SKS does have last round hold open. This box magazine definitely does. Box magazine, you know what I'm saying. Ergonomics are fine, really. I mean, they're nothing great. They're greatly improved by this this Tapco kit. I'm all about this. It's got this extendable butt here, extendable length of pull, because the length of pull on the original SKS it's European. It's very, very short, which can be uncomfortable. I can deal with a really short length of pull here when I've got this nice pistol grip to deal with, but when you've got to put your hand up over the top of that rifle and you don't have a pistol grip, it's pretty obnoxious. I'd much rather be able to extend my length of pull if that's how I'm going to be shooting instead of with the pistol grip. Bore axis, just like the AK and a lot of other guns that have a gas tube on the top, and really the M16 for that matter, the AR platforms, whatever you want to call it. Your sights are a little bit off the bore, and even more so once you start mounting things in the Picatinny rail. I haven't found that to be a massive problem. I mean, it's, you know, it's not like it's 3 feet off or anything, it's just a few inches. You can see how high the front sight post comes up there. Size and weight. Size is actually pretty reasonable. There's a company out there called SG Works, who I am actually not going to promote. I had a very bad experience with them. The amount of time they took and how long it took them to get me my money back when I finally canceled my order. But if you have the courage, you can go and try to buy from them, and they actually make a bullpup kit for the SKS, which seems very cool. Shortens it to the legal limit, which I think is, you know, maybe 26 and 1/8 inches overall. The original SKS configuration is very short, and obviously this one you can adjust by length of pull. As far as weight goes, thumbs down. It's awful. This is a really, really heavy gun, and especially if you want to start mounting anything on it, that weight gets thrown up front. One thing I will point out though that's positive about the ergonomics is pretty cool, and this is going to look goofy for a second, just bear with me, I'm not going to take the red dot off. This rear dust cover here is real easy on and off, so what I can do is in no time, I mean I'm doing it right in front of you, regular speed, talking so you can hear it, that dust cover comes off. Got a dust cover here in the rear that's already got a scope mounted to it. Take it, slide it on, and in pretty much no time I now have a scoped platform. Now obviously if I were in the field I would take the red dot off, blah blah, I mean. But the cool thing is that will actually help tilt the weight towards the back a little bit, and it is relatively easy to change like that. Downside is this dust cover is not, well I mean it looks great here, but I'm sure if you were to see it in high speed, it is taking the full recoil of the bolt every time. So you do have to understand that your scope's going to be taking a bit of abuse, it's going to be shaking around a bit. So that may or may not knock your zero off, it depends on how nice of a scope you want to put on your $200 rifle. Anyways, size, weight, durability, cleaning, and truckability. Well, for durability, let me say this yet again. This grandfathered the AK-47. I do not think, unless you were just a complete idiot, and even if you are a complete idiot, I think you would have a very hard time getting this gun to fail on you. Part of the reason it is so heavy is because of what it's made out of. This thing is practically invincible. I would not hesitate to throw it in a pile of mud, pull it out, and try and shoot it again. Just like the AK, you'll see when you take it apart, lots and lots and lots of space for extra dirt, mud, whatever junk you can come up with to throw in there. Very loose tolerances. Just a very sturdy, durable gun. I like that. Lost my spot now. Cleaning. Cleaning is pretty easy for the most part. Really, you know, you just pop the dust cover off. You can take out your bolt carrier and bolt, neither of which get overly dirty. Clean out the inside there. Pop the upper handguard off. A lot like the AK, it's got a piston in there and a connecting rod back here. Really the only thing that gets that dirty is the piston, and I'm not sure the term, maybe piston well, piston tube, gas tube, there it is. And the gas tube, but it's really not that big of a pain to clean at all. And actually, I didn't bring it into this room, whatever, you'll be okay without seeing it. The original SKS has a circle in the butt plate. You push that button through and it's spring loaded. You'll have a little SKS cleaning kit that pops out. And of course, again like the AK, The cleaning rod is normally retained right there under the barrel, so within the gun you can have everything you need to clean it. And cleaning it's not really going to be that big of a deal. It'll run dirty, and I dare even say it'll run dry. It's just a workhorse of a gun. It's not going to stop working. And you can look up torture tests online. I've seen a couple cool ones. They're just, yeah, they're durable guns. Truckability, super, super high. Probably the highest truckability I've got on a gun right now. Because like I said, it's low on aesthetics. I don't think it's pretty, so I'm not worried about scratching the finish or whatever. Super durable. It'll just go through whatever you need it to go through, really. Like I said before, in defining truckability, you can just throw it in the back of your truck bed and go, not have to worry about it. Reliability, history, and collectability. Reliability, already been harping on it. You know, on par with the AK. I dare say it's the same thing. History, not much history actually. This was this rifle unfortunately never really got to see its day. If you look at pictures, you'll see, look at pictures in this order. Look at the Mosin Nagant, then the SVT-40, the SKS, and the AK, and then maybe the AK-74, and you'll see this evolution of Russian rifles. And you know, you took the Mosin Nagant, which was your 7.62x54R bolt action. You replaced that with your SVT-40, which is still 7.62x54R, but it's now semi-auto. And I think it actually had a removable magazine. After that, you have the SKS, which, much like the SVT-40, is semi-auto, same gas system design. However, has a fixed box magazine and has scaled back to the more reasonable 7.62x39 cartridge. Then the AK came out, obviously, in 1947. And really, really overshadowed the SKS. I forget the exact dates the SKS was made, but the AK came out very shortly after and really had all the same things the SKS did, just with a removable, better magazine, a little bit better ergonomics, and obviously in some of them, your select fire capability, which is nice on a modern battlefield. And obviously the AK is one of the most prolific firearms ever to hit the planet. So, you know, even as good of a gun as this is, it's very hard to stand up to the AK. So in history, there were a lot of these made, millions and millions and millions. So just like the Mosin Nagant, that's why it's so cheap. It's not cheap because it's a bad gun, it's cheap because there's a whole lot of them. But doesn't have too much history and too many wars, has served in Russia and China, and may still be in a few places. I think China still uses certain SKSs as a formal parade firearm, much like a lot of American troops still use the M1 Garand. So it's not necessarily a weapon that's in service, but it's one that's been revered and appreciated. Collectability of these, I wouldn't say they're too collectible. A lot like the Mosin Nagant, some have factory markings and you can track them and, you know, collect this Russian one, this Chinese one, this from that factory, that. But I would not call an SKS collection an investment. It's just more of a personal, maybe hobby or something you would enjoy. It's nothing that, like, if you hold for years and years, all of a sudden it's going to skyrocket in value. There's just too many of them. But it's cool, you know. If you enjoy it, do what you enjoy. Finally, after that, popularity, availability, and parts. Sorry so much of this is overlapping, guys. I'm just really wordy, I guess. Like I said, millions and millions and millions made. Super popular. Most people will know what you're talking about when you're talking about an SKS. If they don't own one, or haven't owned one, or haven't handled one, they'll probably know what it is. And because there are so many, they're readily available. There's tons of them. There's tons of parts. There's tons of different kits like this TAPCO compliance kit. There's kits like that Bullpup kit from SG Works. There's several websites that are just dedicated to the SKS and extra parts for it. I guess if you want to get really tactical, there's all kinds of lights, lasers, red dots, scopes, stocks, bipods, whatever. There's, yeah, I mean, you can customize it as much as you want, play around with it. So finally, to go ahead and end it, Sorry, I've just drug on here. Like I said though, like all my videos, it's ad-libbed, didn't plan it out, guys. Purpose of this gun, I think it's a great multi-purpose gun. The 7.62 is a cheap round to shoot, so it's a great little plinker for the range. This gun will last a lifetime, so it's an investment in the sense of investing in hours of fun, not in getting cash out of it later. This isn't something that's going to break on you. So, great target gun. I'm sure you could use it as a ranch gun if you got varmint. I've heard of people hunting with 7.62 by 39. I'm not a hunter, so take or leave my advice, but I don't think I would personally try to hunt with this round. But you could, sure as hell, if you've got some coyotes or something in your backyard that's causing a problem for you. This will take care of business. Without rule of law gun, I would trust it, but there's better options. Just the fact of the matter is, stripper clips are a real pain in the butt to deal with, and this mag change is just not good. And in a without rule of law situation, you need to be able to back up what you're talking about. And kind of like we're seeing over in Britain, if you're going to be up on top of your house trying to defend it, it's not just going to be one or two people. It could be a mass, and so you're going to need a massive firepower to shoot back with. And while 20 rounds is sufficient at a time, you're going to need more. So, I think that's about all I've got on it. Kind of like the Mosin, I would definitely say, if you come across one and you just find it at a good price, seems interesting to you, if you don't already own an AK, or you want something like that, you want to play with the 7.62 by 39, you want a fun little plink gun, you want a good truck gun, this gun's great for all of that. If you want to be a sniper, long-range shooter, 3-gun competitor, this is not your route to go. But it's definitely a fun little gun. I'm glad I picked it up. The good news is it won't appreciate in value, but it will hold its value. So if I ever get sick of it in the future, I'm sure I can trade it for whatever I initially put into it, which is pretty cool. Sorry guys, forgot to put this in the initial video. With your SKS, be careful. When they get imported, there are lots of laws and restrictions against how they can be configured and how many foreign parts they can have. Specifically, I'm not sure where it is, but there's the law about compliance. Section 922R, you want to make sure your gun is 922R compliant, which lists that your imported weapon may have no more than X number of foreign parts, must have X number of American parts. So that's another good reason to get this compliance kit. What it does is it will actually, on top of giving you a great stock, it will replace your upper handguard, which counts as a part, your internal piston, I think your connecting rod, and I forget what all else, but that just ensures that should worst ever come to worst, whatever situation that may be, your gun is legal and you're not going to have to deal with any kind of illegal firearms charges, because I don't know what that would hold, but I sure would not like to find out. Last thing, for real this time, last thing I forgot on the SKS that stinks about it, without a modified bolt, if you're running your stock bolt and bolt carrier in your SKS, you cannot attach and remove the magazine with the bolt forward. So what I'm saying is, if you want to take your magazine out and top it off, you have to pull the bolt back before you can do that. If your bolt's closed, you got a fresh magazine, it's not going in. If your bolt's closed, you want to remove your magazine, it's not coming out. The bolt's got to be back. A new bolt costs $90 to $100 and may need gunsmithing to fit. So just another consideration with your SKS. Sorry about all of this. I'm running out of stuff to talk about. I really don't think I can come up with anything else. If you sat through this whole thing, thank you for bearing with me. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and favorite the video. That seems to help FPS Russia a lot, so I'm trying to throw it out there. If you could favorite my videos, mucho appreciado. And yes, I was trying to be politically incorrect. It was just a joke. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Always come back. Take care. And join the NRA. Please.
Oh god, that was a 40.
Hey. What do you think, assholes? That's it! Got so many flies on the